And it's a very political film as well, which I believe you started writing in 2015 when the general election was happening.
Yeah.
And then you filmed it when the Brexit referendum happened.
Yeah.
So I wondered if that particular event had any influence on the filming. Did you make any tweaks to the script at all?
You mean the Brexit thing?
Yeah.
No, I didn't make any tweaks. The script was already written and prepared and worked out, and the story is not locked into specific events, but more like a climate, a feeling, a sort of political atmosphere, although the individual characters all have themselves political opinions about democracy, about direct action, and about other things that obsess people, particularly on the left.
And the result of the referendum, though, created a huge political atmosphere. I just wondered if that influenced the cast at all during filming.
I think it influenced people on both sides of the camera about adding a layer of intensity to something that was already written. But I think those things didn't arrive overnight. They've been grumbling away for a decade at least, and as a writer you have to listen to those earthquakes that are underneath the ground and to have them come through in an organic way through the everyday struggles of these individuals.
The other thing that struck me about the film, and I think it's probably one of the things that everybody's commented on, is how short it is.
Mm-hmm.
It's 71 minutes, so it's very lean and it's very pared down. Was that always your intention, to actually make something as disciplined as that? It's almost classical in its structure in terms of sort of place and time.
Well, it's classical in its structure in lots of ways, actually, and I did lots of charts while I was writing to see if the climactic moment was happening at the golden section moment and things like that. There's a great deal of work on the architecture of the script in the writing process. But yes, brevity, it seems to me, is an advantage. People complain about things being too long and having their time wasted. They never complain about things moving fast and furious and in an entertaining way. And I think that we live in a moment where we're absolutely bombarded by information through the internet particularly, and tons of films and tons of everything actually, and speed and stuff to absorb. So to make something that doesn't waste people's time, I hope, is an advantage.
Would you ever consider putting it on the stage? I'm not thinking so much of traditional pros art, but a studio theatre with the intimacy that goes with it.
Well, there's been so much interest in it potentially being adapted into a play that I can't ignore this. You know, I've been asked Germany, Austria, Switzerland, and now the UK as well. There is a lot of interest. So I'm looking into seeing what the challenges of adaptation for the stage would be. But that would be respecting the medium of theatre. And this is about respecting the medium of cinema, so you know it's obviously not identical. There's some challenges, but it'll be interesting to see. I'd be happy for it to have a second life, a different life in that form. And Bruno, just
maybe economically would be interesting if you sell it in theatres.
I love the idea of people going and doing their own, you know, making their own interpretation of that text from as a writer. I think that would be really interesting to see what people did with it. Or maybe I would like to direct it for the theatre. I don't know, I haven't decided yet. But anyway, I was thinking when Bruno was talking, the atmosphere on the set reminding of theatre, that's because it's an ensemble and everyone's in it together. They're not alienated, they're not waiting in some caravan somewhere, coming in and doing their bit. Everybody knew what everybody else was doing and was part of it, and that's what's wonderful about working in the theatre, is that group feeling.
Yeah,
and what a great
which
ensemble.
is connected to what I would call discipline.
Yeah,
it's a special form of discipline because you behave not the same way as on locations. I don't know why, because we are together and you're all day together and we do this together, and we knew there was not much time left to do this film, to shoot it. And so that gives us a feeling, stay together, just we do it together, and not, I would like to have some special treatment, and I'm a star, and who comes first, and who is always late because it's important, and you know, this kind of strange behavior
Yeah.
It was
No,
nothing
no,
of that.
no.
It was
Everyone
a
equal.
group of actors who wanted to do a film, just that.